Hey, how's it going? Gonna just continue reviewing some games that I played on Sim. This one is against one of my testing partners. He was playing Shanks, and I'm on GP Luffy. I think Shanks is turning out to be quite a contender in this format, so the matchup, you need to learn how to play it. I went against several already in my locals, and then I might do um, a locals report after just seeing if I have time. I recorded this video once already, but I forgot to capture the audio, so I'm just gonna kind of speed through this one, unfortunately, and then yeah, let's just get into it. Um, so we're just gonna be switching curve here, and I opt to take second. I think second is more valuable in this matchup, just so you can like do your on curve like Zorojuro into Sanji putting into Zorojuro. You want to spam bodies out as fast as possible. So mulligan that hand. It's a okay hand. At least we have a searcher. You should put down the Uta, pick up a Shanks. I don't have any forward on play, so I opt to grab the Zorojuro. Yep. Take the first hit, and then he swings another 5, and then I decide to counter here. I think it's worth considering maybe countering out with something else there because the chopper can be useful when they start dropping their big bodies and they don't really have a way to rest it. So don't know if that was necessarily correct, but I think it's fine. He's gonna let the Uta go obviously here, and then I opt to swing 6 and then play the Frankie here. I think I discussed this in my last video. I want to sort of start chipping at his life early. But I talked this over with my friend, and he thinks establishing the Zorojuro here is better because we can dig for another Zorojuro with it to go 5-4 again my next turn, or uh, find something else to play and then also establish a 6 coming next turn as well. And then I think, in worst case scenario, if I don't find a relevant body off of this, I can just go Sanji putting into Frankie later and get the ramp back up. So um, I do think that this is the better line, even though I don't get to get damage in here. Says go 5, so take it, trigger, get another Zorojuro. Yep. This Sanji pudding, and swing 6. And then here I need to start double summoning every turn. Yep, grab a rush Luffy, seems fine. Divine Departures, my Spud away, which I think I'm okay with because that means he doesn't really get to develop board this turn. And then he's going to swing 6-6, so I just take one, counter the other one. Yep, and the game plan is just to sort of ignore their board as much as you can, and then just start going face. Swing 6 here, which is fine. And I opt to play for the Searcher instead of establishing another Zorojuro. I think maybe I should have just established the Zorojuro anyways. But, I mean, I think either way is fine. And then I end up swinging 6 here. He'll probably swing into this, and it'll act as a pseudo blocker for me anyways. Otherwise, I just get to, Dawn plus too much. So, yep, he swings 6 at it. 9. Swing 6. This is probably saying he has a Rayleigh, so he's going to be able to pop at least one thing here. Yeah, and then this would have been nice if I had another Zorojuro, because then I would have had 2 bodies anyways. And then I could have still swung this Frankie to Dawn plus, but yep, I'm cycled the stage away because it's useless in this matchup. And then I start with the 6 first, just in case. Depending on what he does, I might not want to turn this sideways. I think I am most of the time, so it's fine. Yeah, and then he leader abilities, so I just swing a 5 there. And then ideally, I want to leave 3 Dawn up for the Hell's Judgment and a Gum Gum Giant, because most likely he's going to drop the 10. Yep, he drops the 10 drop. and then I can counter out of these swings. I have a ton of counter in my hand. And then once he swings 8 here, this is like perfect Hell's Judgment value, so... and he won't be able to swing with leader at this point after that. So I resolve there. And then Gum Gum Giant out of this one. And then after that... yep, just start swinging with like low commitment swings first. Probably should have done the Sanji pudding first, honestly. So that's a minor misplay, but it's alright. But he just starts taking all these. But he still hasn't leader ability. He gave me a 7 there. So I opt to try and play for another turn, knowing I have 2 blockers. And then, yeah, he still hasn't leader ability, so I can't double tap with this. He'll just minus this one down, and I think that's what he's waiting for, since he knows I searched one off of one of my searches earlier. So that's why I decided to shift over to playing another blocker instead. I think I'm just thinking whether I can, calculating whether I can survive another turn at this point or not. Because he has to go for the kill here. I don't think there's any way, even with like double blocker and double event, he's surviving. Yep. I decided to cycle with the Nami first. And then I decide to keep my third one in hand, because if he just pokes a 6, I don't want to be Gum Gum gianting out of that one. So I think I debate playing it over the Zorojiro, but ultimately I think keeping this in my hand was correct. And then take some time to think, but then I just pass here before dawn up. I should have mapped out my turn a bit better so I don't have so many of these unused dawns. I could still leave like another one or another 2 up if I wanted to, if in case like I wanted to pray that I draw into like another event. But I think maybe distributing the dawn a little bit better might have like had him die earlier, and then I wouldn't have to play for another turn like this. But ultimately I don't think there's any card that gets him out of this situation, to be honest. Yep, swings a 6 first, and I just 2k out, and that's why I decided to save this, because they're just going to get bigger from here on out. I decided to just Gum Gum Giant here to get the maximum value, because I don't think he's going to be swinging a 9 for whatever reason. And then draw into a 0 cost and another 2k, so like this is the point where I know I'm like chilling. Yeah, block for the Sanji pudding, and then he just scoops from there, and he was super bricked up. And we go into game 2. This time he takes second. Pretty crappy hand. I start with this instead of the stage because I need to find playable cards. Grab a Zorojiro, it's probably not going to be enough, to be honest. So I swing 7, and what did I do there? I'll play the stage. Yeah, not much else to do. And then, yeah, this setup starts. This is where like it starts getting rough. I decided to just swing 6, but this is pointless because he's just leader ability and free blocks here. So I should have just established the Sanji pudding, even though I know it's going to get blown up next turn, and just make him have it. I established the Zorojiro thinking I could just like bait out stuff, but he drops the Yasop, and then like at this point in the game, it's like, yeah, he swings both here just to pressure me down. I think I misplayed here as well. Like when he swings the 6 here, I should have expected this to swing as well, so I should have just countered here. But now he's demanding 2 cards, and I don't want to give up 2 cards at this point, so I just opt to end up taking, going down to 1, and then like the game's pretty much lost at this point. Yeah, just do the Rashomon to get this card off of the field, because they just generate too much advantage, and at this point I need to leave up at least 1 Dawn for a Giant, and it feels bad. Otherwise I'm at a real chance of dying, I think, potentially. Oh no, I have a ton of 2k, so should have been fine, but if I was going to swing out, I should just do like 7-7, or like swung 7 first with leader, and then see if he gives me the leader ability, and if he doesn't, I can keep this standing, so minor misplays there. Leader ability's there, so I can swing this 6, gives me 1. Yep. But now he can swing 7 into 5 here. He's gonna blow this up with the new gate and then probably swing a 6, and then I end up letting this go. But in all honesty, like I should have just Gum Giant it out of here and try to save it. Because at this point, it's like I need something to stick on the board, and I'm giving both of these up at that point. I'm just like I'm autopiloting at this point. This game's lost. I've just lost too much tempo. He has a huge there's a huge life discrepancy, and he's pretty healthy on hand as well. So yeah, just swinging bad numbers. I'm just giga tilted at this point. So not much to say. I think I end up scooping pretty quick after that. And going second again. Decide to grab. Do I end up grabbing the giant? I think the rush Luffy here is fine as well. But I end up saying grab the giant. Swings 8. Yeah, I end up doing the Frankie play here again. Again, another mistake, but it is what it is. Now we know. Takes a while to think. And he ends up actually getting rid of the Frankie. I guess he didn't want me to get the Dawn value. But I did have the Sanji Pudding, and now I can double summon this turn, grab another Sanji Pudding, and then Divine Departure's it, but again, he doesn't develop anything, just 1k out here, and then decide to stay healthy at 2. So now I can swing 6, establish another one, and then I drop another one off the top. I decide swinging just 6 and cycling the brick out of my hand is more important than swinging a little bit higher, which I agree with still. And then I can grab like another 2k here if I want. I guess that I probably need actual counter in case he swings at this and I want to keep it alive. Pulling snakes, new gates, and then just to swing 7. I doubled 2k here, but it was an accident. It was supposed to be 1 2k here and 1 2k for the leader, but he knows I made a mistake. It was just clicking too fast, and since we're just testing, he just decides to pass here, knowing that in real life that's never going to happen, but just some things. He'll play my third Sanji Pudding for the game, and then just start swinging here. Probably should have mathed this out a little bit better, to be honest, but then I think I'll end up searching more, grab another Gum Giant. Is that my 4th Sanji Pudding? That's nasty. But anyways, and then I pass with all this done up. Again, I probably should have, instead of like mass searching, I think I should have just divvied up my Dawn a bit more and then pushed him to give up more counter. But he decides like in this position, like he has to just go for it, and then because a 10 drop effectively does nothing here. I just kill him, and then I fuck up a bit, and then I end up having to Gum and Hell's Judgment out of that swing, so not good, but we get there in the end. So, and he was just super bricked up. And then the last game, I start going first again. It's a pretty good hand. I think here the Luffy Taro is probably the best option, and then next turn I can swing 7 and then like try grabbing like something to play off of this, and then if I can't, then I can just play this and not leader ability for a turn. Drops the Uta, cycle out the stage, swing 6, and then probably grab the Zorjiro off of here. Just take that one, and then plays the blocker, and this blocker's really annoying. Decide to just do that and pass. I think maybe, let's see. Maybe I think you could do either. You could, like, I could still play the Sanji Pudding there, and then just not leader ability, and then go Luffy Taro into Zoro, or do it the opposite way. I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't really see another line off the top of my head on what I could have done better there, but pretty healthy on hand size. I divided to purchase that, and then I'm expecting it to swim both, so I just counter out. Maybe I should have taken the second one. But yeah, drop the Luffy Taro into the Sanji Pudding, and then here, yep, 9 into 6. I think that's fine because it still requires 2 cards, even after leader ability. Building Snake, pops my Sanji Pudding, and then, yep, that's fine. Here it's like a little bit sus leader abilitying because I don't have a re-ramper. I think I decided to play this down and grab a Sanji Pudding. I really need this off the board because it just gains him like so much advantage in terms of like countering out early. And then I decided to swing 8 into 6, but this is a huge misplay because it's just leader ability and then like a 2k or a brick with this ability. So I should have swung 9 if anything and seen if he lets it go, and then I could have played it off better from that position. Because if this dies, I can leader ability, restand 2, and then maybe play a Sanji Pudding. Yeah, maybe play a Sanji Pudding here, and then have 3 bodies, and then it gets like a little bit more difficult for him to decide like which one he wants to swing into at that point, I think. Instead, I just raw play the Frankie, decide a leader ability, and then just, yeah, swinging bad numbers again. I don't know what I'm so afraid of. Like I don't think I'm like really dying in this position, so should just swung harder. But I have to counter out there, in case he decides to try and kill. And then now, I don't really have good counter, but I feel like I also need to save this. I just feel so behind on board at this point, so decided to Gum Giant out, and then just draw bricks. So this just feels really bad at this point. And then now he was telling me he felt tempted to go into the Luffy Taro since he saw me pitch a 0 cost, and that's honestly probably correct, but he decides to just go for the safer play and pop the Zoro instead. But yeah, I'm just like giga tilted at this point, but I think I definitely just misplayed a ton. I swing bad numbers here again, I think. Yeah, 7 into 6. Again, it's just like leader ability 1k or pitches a brick off of this. I decided to ramp, and now I'm just swinging random stuff. I think he finally lets this go. Oh, never mind, he saves it. And then he just decides to like blow up my entire board at this point. I can't do anything about it. And top decks a Building Snake. He was just laughing about it on the call, and then now like the game's pretty much lost. So I'm just like thinking, but realistically, like I don't have any out here, so I end up scooping. Yep. I think the runtime for this video ran a little longer than I wanted to, so maybe I'll do the locals report next time. And I do have an idea for covering like tech options. I think I'm going to change my list a little bit, as did my friend. I think the stage build is going to be more prevalent going forward, and he wasn't playing the stage here, so it made the games a little bit easier for me. But I think you still approach the matchup in a similar fashion. It just gets easier for him to like clear some of our stuff, unfortunately. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.